Welcome to my Weight Loss 101. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain how weight loss works and how you can figure it out for yourself. Okay, basically this is how weight loss works. So if we burn about 500 calories each day, you should lose about half a kilo for that week. If we were burning about 1,000 calories per day for a week, we should lose about 1 kilo for that week. The first part to understanding weight loss is understanding how your BMR works, which is your basal metabolic rate. That's basically how many calories your body burns while it does nothing, which is just staying alive. The next part is understanding your total daily energy expenditure, which is pretty much your daily life, whether it's work, sport, exercise, how many extra calories you're going to burn on top of your BMR. To calculate these numbers, all you really need to do is find an appropriate app on your smartphone, or there are plenty of websites that will calculate your BMR and your TDEE for you. Here is an example of a female client that's 165 centimeters tall, weighs 65 kilos and is 25 years old. At the bottom you'll notice the maintenance calories for this client. It's based on their activity levels. There is none, low and medium. So basically to stay alive and do nothing, this client is going to want to have 1,063 calories to maintain their weight. If they have a low level activity, say they have a desk job and they don't really play any sport or anything like that, they're going to need about 1,797 calories to maintain their weight. If they're a bit more active, play some sport, exercise lots, or have a physical job, they're going to need 2,383 calories to maintain their weight. Now, stating the obvious here, if they eat below their current BMR of 1,063 calories, they aren't going to die. But you do not want to push your luck continually eating underneath your BMR. Doing this is going to lead to your metabolism slowing down, and nobody wants that. So to be clear, these calorie levels are to keep them at their current weight. So this isn't for weight loss yet. Now, theoretically, if this client was 10 years older, same height, same weight, just 10 years older, they would not be able to eat the same amount of calories as what they did as when they were 25. This is a pure example of each 10 years you can see that their calories go down just a little bit each time, and it proves that as you get older, it's actually harder to lose weight, whether that is because you eat the same that you did as when you were 25, or whether it's because you're not as active as when you were 25. It will contribute to weight gain as our metabolism slows down as we get older. Okay, let's see how weight actually affects our maintenance calories. Now let's say the first client that we had, instead of weighing 65 kilos, actually weighed 95 kilos. She was still 25, she was still 165 centimeters tall, but she weighed 95 kilos. So, as you may notice, her maintenance calories are going to be a lot higher than if she was 65 kilos. So, as you can see from the chart, somebody at 95 kilos is going to have a higher calorie requirement than somebody at 65 kilos, which means if they're starting a diet, they're going to start off on higher calories than somebody a lot smaller than themselves. Part 2 of this, we're going to talk about the calorie ranges which you should be eating daily versus how many calories you should take off of your daily eating allowance to actually lose weight. The numbers that I'm going to discuss are obviously just going to be suggestions for this imaginary client. You do not necessarily have to do exactly as I have demonstrated, because every individual is different and they're going to have their own numbers and their own little issues to deal with. So let's talk calorie ranges. So if this 65 kilo individual wanted to lose weight, what you would like to do. If they were not a medium level of activity, so they were not playing a whole heap of sport, had a physical job, and they were quite active, they were sort of more of a desk job type person, they do a little bit of exercise but nothing extreme, what you would like to do is, if you want to treat it simply, you are going to eat between 1,797 calories and 1,063 calories. If you use that range and you don't go over the 1,797 or under the 1,063, you should be able to lose some weight without stressing too much. But you can't guarantee the amount of weight loss you're going to have due to the calories fluctuating up and down. Now, can I go below that BMR, that 1063? Yes, you can, but you do not want to do it very often. The more often you do it, the more chance you have of slowing your metabolism down. Technically, there's a popular diet called the intermittent fasting diet, which will go quite low on calories for 2 days and just eat healthy on the other 5. That works well, but you don't want to do an extended period where you are underneath those BMR numbers. You do not want to undereat when you are dieting, because if you undereat from the start, you're eventually going to have no calories left to bargain with. When you start getting closer to your goal, you'll be eating nothing and you will be miserable. Now, if you wanted to do it a little bit more scientifically, what you would do is just say we fell into that low category. What we would do is we would subtract 500 calories off 1,797. And that would be our number that we want to eat each day to lose weight. That 500 calories off is going to result in a 0.5 kilo loss for a week. And we would continue with this same number until our weight loss started to significantly slow down and eventually plateau. So when the inevitable happens of our weight loss stops, what we want to do is we want to re-lower our calories, but we don't want to be silly about it. Usually about 100 calories is plenty. 300 would be an absolute maximum, but I would probably stick close to that 100 calories and see how you go with that new calorie, whether you start losing weight or whether you need a little bit of an extra push. Now, I haven't mentioned exercise yet. Usually most of your weight loss is going to happen in the kitchen, but you do want to calculate and factor in the extra weight loss you're going to get from your activities. So if you are exercising quite hard and working out, you can burn, say, up to 500, somewhere between 200 and 500 calories in a workout. That is going to be added onto your daily deficit. So each little exercise session that you have is going to contribute to your weight loss. It is also going to have the added benefit of making you much fitter and healthier. The best way to start your diet is to find your maintenance calories. Try eating those for a couple of weeks and see whether your weight goes up, down, or stays the same. If it goes down, you can theoretically actually eat a little bit more and keep eating a little bit more until that weight loss actually starts to stop or gain. If you actually put on weight eating your maintenance calories, do it for the few weeks, and then that's when you drop down the 500 calories to obviously initiate the weight loss. Or you can follow the calorie range approach. Now, this is a very accurate picture of how weight loss actually works. When you try and lose weight, there's always going to be a fluctuation going up and down, but ultimately you want to see that general arrow going downwards over time. If you're trying to lose weight, I would say that your ultimate goal is to be less of you. So a good way of tracking that is to either do measurements or to keep track of how loose your clothes are fitting. If you do measurements, I would probably just stick with hips, waist, bicep, and maybe chest if you're interested in that one. If you use a scale, I would suggest that you do a daily weigh-in, take those daily weigh-ins and do a weekly average. And what you want to see is your weekly average going down week to week, rather than doing a daily look at it and it goes up, it goes down. If it goes up, you get worried. If you just look at the weekly averages, as long as they're still going down, you're doing well. Okay, here's a quick summary. Tracking calories does work. You're basically using science to your advantage, so it takes the guesswork out of losing weight. The next one is age and weight will actually affect your calories. The older you are, the less calories you'll actually need to consume. And the more you weigh, the higher your calories will be when you start your diet. The next one is don't undereat. For the love of God, don't undereat. It's probably worse than overeating. Know your BMR. Try not to go under that very often. You do not want to slow metabolism, because it means that you'll be eating less and less and less until you're eating nothing. And the last one is be happy. No matter where you are on your weight loss journey, your aim is to be healthy. Be happy that you're going and making yourself healthier. And keep fighting. If you keep fighting, you always have the chance to get to where you want to be. Just remember, you can't win a fight that you've already quit. If you don't give up, you always have a chance of succeeding. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Stay fit.